Someone tell me, is this real? Is Jorge Masvidal still getting title shots in the year 2022, almost 2023? Actually, by the time we're in UFC 286, it would be 2023. So would Masvidal still be getting title shots at this time? Listen, by the title of this video, you might have not been expecting this start from me. And I mean, unless you've been online and you've been seeing the whole I wouldn't really say drama, just something that's been going around. It's been like kind of the talk of the town for a few days, very few days. When it first came out yesterday, I don't think it was yesterday. It came out a few days before that. Stephen Thompson went on a podcast, or it was an interview. It was an interview, and he claimed that Kamaru Usman was injured. Now, this was Stephen Thompson who went on an interview with Fred Talks Fighting on YouTube. Go check him out. He has a lot of good interviews, and he is, climbing up in popularity. Go check him out. Obviously, I'm not the biggest creator to be giving him some kind of shout out, but we're going to be using his clip here. So just make sure to show love, I guess, if you haven't already, that is. But Stephen Thompson on the podcast claimed pretty much that Usman might be out of the UFC 286 fight in London, the pay-per-view with Leon Edwards, the trilogy, the third match. And he said it was because of a kind of hand surgery that he needed. So Wonder Boy Thompson ended up saying, well, you know what? I'm just going to let it play out for you. I'm just going to let you all decide what's going on here.
Right now I'm on a 6.
Did I hear that correctly? Let's replay it. Let's hear that again.
Looking at George Masvidal, but March, and they're looking at George Masvidal, but
They're looking at who?
surgery. I know they want to fight somebody in March, and they're looking at George Masvidal, but
Jorge Gamebred Masvidal is who they were looking at. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson really said that? Okay. I'm done with the clickbait. We're going to scroll up. This was Stephen Thompson's clapback. Oh, it went away. So what do we do about that? Let's see. Let's see if we can find his at somewhere. Stephen Thompson. That's not good. I hate when this fucking app does that, or this website. Here it is, yeah. Stephen Thompson said, "My friends, my bad. I meant to say I wouldn't be surprised if they made the Leon Masvidal fight. I have no idea what the UFC is planning to do. As of now, it's still Leon versus Usman." So pretty much what he's saying here is he didn't mean to say that the UFC was looking at Leon versus Masvidal, because he doesn't know what the UFC is looking at right now. He meant to say was he wouldn't be surprised if that's what they were looking at. So just a little bit clearing up the air to this entire thing that's been going on online, because I know there's been just so many people. What is this? This is kind of cool, actually. So many people saying so many things about Masvidal Edwards fight. There's a lot of really cool pictures and things people are making. Wow. Yeah, so this is the welterweight rankings. For right now, the champion is Leon Edwards. The number one contender is Kamaru Usman. And obviously, Kamaru Usman cannot compete because he is injured, right? This was Kamaru Usman. Let's see if I can find the video. This was Usman. I think it was a few days ago, or this morning, or the morning before that. But this is Usman. Scrambling, wrestling. getting the top mount, escaping. His opponent escaped there. I think that looks like kind of like Quakeweed. But if we look here, look, he's crawling on. He's putting weight on his hands too and everything, grabbing his opponent and his training partner. Those very, very sweaty mats. I've never seen mats that sweaty before. So, by the looks of that training footage there, it really doesn't look like Kamaru Usman is injured, as said by the title. So, obviously, this could be some previously recorded clip from from a few months ago or a couple weeks ago that was just being posted now, because this guy isn't the first one to post that. There's many other posts about about Usman in training sessions and sparring sessions, and usually wrestling kind of drills and practices like this one. This wasn't a drill. This is kind of a practice wrestling. You know what I mean? There's been a lot of different clips surfacing today and yesterday of Usman training without any problems in his hands. So I don't think this is the only piece of evidence we have. If you look around, there's quite a few. So it doesn't really look like Kamaru Usman actually is injured. So it looks like the answer to the title of this video is Kamaru Usman is likely still fighting for the title at UFC 286. And that, to answer what I asked at the very start of this video and not the title, was Jorge Masvidal is not getting that shot anytime soon. So that's pretty much it for that. But let's say hypothetically, just to think about it for fun, who should get that title shot against Leon Edwards if Usman doesn't get it, or if he was injured or whatever? Well, a lot of people looking at Colby Covington, number 2, technically second in line. But here's the thing with Colby Covington is he already fought for the welterweight title twice. In one of the bouts, it was against Usman, very close, but ended up getting knocked out in the final minute. In the second fight, it was Usman again. This time he lost by unanimous decision. So that's already 2 title shots. And this was end of 2019. Damn, it's the 14th today too. Wow, it's like exactly a year ago. So that'd be 2 years ago. No, 3 years ago. So in the span of 3 years, he's gotten 2 title shots. Or no, actually, it's in the span of technically 2 years, a little bit under that or over that. But if we're talking about from now to his first title shot, he's gotten 2 in 3 years. He lost both. They were both against Usman. For a long time, he was number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world. And in between each of his title shots, he would have 1 win. Or this is what it's looking like right now. He would have 1 win. After he fought Usman in December 2019, in September 2020, he fought Tyron Woodley, knocked him out in the 5th round. Or no, it was a TKO. It was TKO because he injured his rib, Tyron Woodley. And then for the next fight, it was November 2021. Usman fought Covington, and Covington couldn't reclaim that title. Then obviously just a few 5 months later, he fought Jorge Masvidal, won by unanimous decision. So if you wanted to keep the pattern going, you could have Covington versus Leon Edwards. That's a decent enough fight. But Colby Covington, in the state that we're in at welterweight right now, Colby Covington isn't the only guy. There's obviously Khamzat Chimaev as well, 12-0. His last win was against Kevin Holland, first round submission. He beat the number 2 at the time, Gilbert Burns, number 5 today. He beat Li Jingliang, who recently re-entered the rankings, which I'm really happy about. You know, the robbery couldn't affect this guy's career for too long. If you want me to sidetrack and just say my opinion about this, I think Jingliang is going to probably fight. This is just my little conspiracy theory. I think they're putting Jingliang back into the rankings so that he could fight Jack Della Maddalena, so that Madalena can. The UFC is looking for him to beat Lee, and then for Della Madalena to get a clean enter into the rankings at 15th or maybe even 14th, maybe even 13th, or maybe even 12th, depending on if Neil Magny loses, or 11th even if Jorge Masvidal doesn't do much to bring himself back up. So that's just a little conspiracy. I'm getting sidetracked. The Khamzat fight, it somewhat makes sense. He's on a 12-fight winning streak in his career. He's undefeated. He's number 3, so he's a top 3 contender. That fight would also make sense, but if you look online, people aren't talking about Covington because he already fought for the title twice. Nobody wants to see that. People aren't talking about Khamzat. The fight that people are talking about is Bilal Muhammad. Now, Bilal, remember the name Muhammad. He's number 4 currently at welterweight. 22-3. I think he's won 8 out of his last 10 fights. Was it? I think he's gone 10 fights unbeaten. I'm pretty sure. Let me look back just to make sure I'm not getting nothing wrong. His last loss was against Jeff Neal. So then he's gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fights unbeaten. Obviously, there was a no contest against Leon Edwards, so we're not gonna count that as a loss. It's just 9-fight unbeaten streak. So obviously, after this knockout win against Sean Brady, and especially after so many unanimous decision wins and very not exciting fights, in many people's opinion and mine, Bilal Muhammad was able to pull off a crazy, very unexpected finish against Sean Brady. A fight which a lot of people expected Bilal Muhammad to lose. A fight that even more people expected Bilal Muhammad to not get a knockout in. You know, that was a pretty safe bet. But he was able to defy the odds in that fight. And I think he's gotten sort of the respect of the fans, especially after these last 2 fights. With Vicente Luque, after that fight, Bilal got my respect. Because Luque, I thought he was going to kill Muhammad. I thought that was it. You know, Luque was just going to build himself even higher into the rankings and maybe get that title shot. That was my whole thought process for this fight, but that is very far from what happened. I mean, very, very far. If we look at both of their careers right now, even, it's far from what ended up happening. And especially this Sean Brady win, even if he was only ranked number 9 at the time, Sean Brady, still a very impressive win nonetheless. And a lot of people online, especially Bilal Muhammad himself, they're asking for this fight. I mean, it looks like a lot of people want Bilal Muhammad to fight for that belt if it's not Kamaru Usman. So if we look at it from many perspectives, and if we look at it in a universe where Kamaru Usman cannot fight for the title because he is injured, who do I think should fight for that title next? Who do I think should fight Leon Edwards in London in the O2 Arena for UFC 286? I think it should be Bilal Muhammad. But seems like right now, just to answer the title of this video, it seems like, yes, Kamaru Usman will fight for the welterweight title in March.